Well, we're getting ever closer to the release of the WASDE report by USDA. The question will be, will the trade think much of it with everything else going on right now? It's really kind of sidetracked here. The WASDE report will come out at the top of the hour, and we'll get some feedback after that market report comes out, of course. And we're talking right now with Brian Hoops of Midwest Market Solutions. He's in Springfield, Missouri. Brian, a little bit of a gain taking place in, well, the majority of the ag contracts today. Let's take a look here at the corn market. Corn has been trading firmer all morning long. Of course, we had some steep losses yesterday, but May corn now 5 higher at 377 3/4. December, 4.5 higher now at 380 3/4. Soybean trade showing double-digit gains, and we are showing May up 11.5 now at 881.5, and September 10.25 higher. November's up 10.25 as well. The wheat market in Chicago has been on both sides of unchanged today, and now it's a split decision where you have the nearbys a little bit firmer, but the deferred's a little bit weaker. May is up a penny right now. Kansas City on that May contract, it's a struggle. It was higher early in the day, but now it's a penny and a half lower at 439.5. And then Minneapolis on the May contract, currently trading about a penny and a half lower at 521 3/4. So, Brian, your take on this? We had just a really hard down day yesterday in the entire grain complex, for the most part anyway. And then today a slight rebound, but it's not nearly gaining back what we lost yesterday. How do you look at the way the market is performing today? Is it just tentative with the report coming out?
Yeah, good morning, Marlon. We're very tentative because you have the report coming out. You don't have the strongest fundamental trends here, so unlikely to see this rally really extend past, even last week's highs, where the market had a couple-day rally and failed and pulled back. That's where you really have to take that high out if you want to see any technical action or buying coming in from the fund traders. Otherwise, the market is kind of following the lead of crude oil, which is having a relief recovery after a big meltdown yesterday, seeing a bounce there, the stock market being higher. All that's contributing to see some buying interest in the grains in here. But, of course, you have the WASDE report coming out in another 45 minutes or so. That's going to update our balance sheets, and I don't look for any real bullishness coming out of that report. USDA is very likely to lower our corn export forecast. We need to be averaging about 40 million bushels each week to hit the USDA forecast as it stands. We haven't done that yet once this marketing year, so it's unlikely we're going to do that at a time when South American supplies are being harvested and Ukrainian corn becomes available. It's unlikely our corn exports are suddenly going to rebound unless they have a real crop disaster, and that does not look like it's in the cards. So I think you're looking at a little bit of a negative report coming out here in a few minutes. That should cap our rallies.
Okay, we'll come back in a moment, and we'll take a look at our livestock trade as well. We're talking with Brian Hoops. We'll be back right after these messages. Come on back. We're talking with Brian Hoops of Midwest Market Solutions. We're going to talk now about the livestock trade. And boy, we had that big downward move yesterday in the livestock. Some of the contracts were limit down on the close, and then today we had some that opened limit up today. Traded limit up for a little bit, and now we're kind of easing back off of that. And so let's dive into the prices here, Brian, and then we'll talk about it here for a moment. On the live cattle board, we are now trading April up about 275. We're at 105.60. We have June up 248 at 99.58, so still under $100 there. The August up $1.92. So the nearby is leading the way higher. On the feeder cattle market, let's take a look over there where we have the March up 172. All the other months from April on out are at least $2 higher. April's up by 240 now, and now 238 higher at 127.92. But well off its earlier high of 131.50. So there is that. We're very close to the low of the day now. On the lean hogs, let's switch over there. And we have the April up by 210. We're at 65.10. May had been limit up, but now it's up $2.63 at 71.33. So, Brian, well, let's talk about this livestock trade here. Yesterday, we had some big gaps on the charts, I understand. Are they open? Did we fill them? Did we leapfrog back over them today? How do we stand as the market is trading right now?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an unusual trading session because live cattle have regular trading limits, and they went and touched those this morning, while feeder cattle have expanded limits today, so they can freely trade, and they did that in early session. Now, the markets have backed off of that limit gains, but it was enough to go up and fill the gap that was left yesterday, and now we're starting to back off a little bit. So technically, this is not a real good situation unless you can close back above that gap area. Just going and filling it and backing off won't be very pretty or look very nice on the charts at the closing bell. But we're really tracking the stock market. The stock market sharply higher overnight and giving back some of those gains here as we go through this trading session. And you can see the cattle futures starting to back off of their session highs as well.
So real quickly, we only have a few seconds left, but if they would figure out a way to handle the coronavirus, would that be enough to lift the entire livestock complex?
Absolutely. I think that would be enough to lift the entire stock market, and U.S. dollar would strengthen as well. We'd see a big recovery in the stock market, and that would really take some of the pressure off of the cattle market.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for talking with us. Brian Hoops of Midwest Market Solutions in Springfield, Missouri, with a look at our current trade coming off of the day's highs so far, but it's still early. Big report coming up.
Yeah, and we're still seeing yellow on those charts, at least for now. So what a difference a day makes there, at least. We'll keep watching it. Thank you, Marlon.